All right, everybody, it's Adam and Mike on the most wonderful time of the year. Just the Tips, episode number 55. Merry Christmas, Mike.
Merry Christmas, man. How you doing?
Doing really good. As this comes out, we're just 3 days away from the most wonderful day of the year. The day that these days my kids sleep in until about 10 o'clock.
I know, you're lucky, man. You're lucky. I got kids that I got both ends of the spectrum, so I got to get up at like 6:30.
So the little ones come in and wake up the big ones, and then everybody comes and wakes you up, right?
Yep.
Yep.
No, but it's still fun. At least they still enjoy it, and it's still that special time of the year, so it's kind of fun.
I think that was the saddest day in my life when I realized I'd bought everything at Toys R Us that was under $20.
Yeah.
That from now on it was going to be big gifts, and now the kids start getting crazy with the big gifts. But they're both employed this year, and I didn't have to finance their gifts back to their mother, so which is good. It used to be I'll buy it.
You the gifts.
Maybe. Eric came through big time last year, but they're both wonderfully employed. So, like I said, expecting something big this year. Yeah.
All right, very
cool. But we got a busy, it's our favorite video of the year. We did this last year. It's our top 10 countdowns. It takes us a little while to go through it. So why don't we thank our sponsors real fast, and then we're going to dive into probably the best podcast of 2025.
Yeah, I love this podcast. But shout out to Sundog, great sponsor this year. Go ahead.
15% off using the code JTT15 at checkout. Shaft Wraps is always a hit. Again, if you haven't bought a person shaft wraps and it's past Christmas, buy it for them for Martin Luther King Day. All right, because that's coming up in January, and that's your next opportunity to gift shaft wraps.
Base Cigars, shout out to Base Cigars, coming out with new awesome cigars for the golfers and direct to consumer. So go onto his website, check it out. Base Cigars.
Yeah, awesome stuff. And like I said, we're gonna mention him in a video later. But Ball Hawker, Todd at ballhawker.com for all your recycled golf ball needs.
Not refurbished.
Yeah,
recycled.
Not refurbished.
Yep.
Recycled. There's a big difference. It's
Actually,
like the difference between waterproof and waterproof and water resistant. We learned that this year too.
Yeah, the hard way. Yep.
Yeah.
And Custom Wedgwoods. Ken at Custom Wedgwoods. Awesome stuff, guys. If you haven't heard us talk about Ken all year, and if you're not getting tired of it, just go over to his website, check out his stuff, and then contact him directly, because we can talk about it to death. Just go reach out to Ken. And
I keep finding stuff online. I'm like, can you build this? He's like, yes. And I'm like, how about this? Yes. So the other day I sent him a 4-bedroom colonial house. I'm like, can you build this?
He's like, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Just the
All
tips.
right, we missing anybody?
I'm sure we are. And again, we couldn't be more grateful from our partner courses, especially along the Mid-Atlantic region. So just right from the top to the bottom, Stonehouse, Royal New Kent, Tot Hill Farms, Tobacco Road, True Blue, Caledonia, Bulls Bay. Thank you guys for letting us in, and Kiowa Ocean Plantation, as well as our Ocean Course, as well as all the other courses we played this year. More than 30. You guys have been great to the Just the Tips gang.
Yeah, it's been so great to make these relationships with these guys, and it's just been so fun that, I'm kind of nervous on how we're going to be able to, get back to all these courses that we obviously know and love and have these relationships with, and build onto some other courses as well. So we got a busy 2025 ahead of us, brother. Yeah,
next week we'll be sitting down, and we have a planning session scheduled. We have our a boys trip luncheon scheduled. I got family financial meetings where I tell them you're going to have to buy your own food this year because how much golf I'm going to play. There's not going to be money for both golf and food, but it's exciting. Yep. And then who else was I just thinking?
Saturday Skins. Saturday Skins.
Yeah. Don't forget about Saturday Skins. Buy your shirt. Again, I bet if you ask nice, I bet they could still get them here before Christmas. Just saying. Or at least for that, I forgot we were getting together on the Saturday after Christmas gift.
Oh, they'll definitely be here by next Saturday.
There you go.
But buy your shirt. All right, dude, let's get into it, man. Let's tell them what we're going to do.
So here's the thing is we started up in 2023 and we produced a lot of content But quite honestly, just like a business is supposed to, it was a little haphazard, and that's okay. We posted a lot sometimes and not a lot the other time. One of the big pivots we made in 2025 was the post at least 3 pieces of content. 2024, our pivot was to post at least 3 pieces of content every day and several long format pieces a month, including this podcast, which is great. And one of the things that we had a lot of fun doing last year was doing a top 10 countdown. Whether you're Johnny Carson or David Letterman or Jimmy Kimmel, whether it's MTV or the new the Real Housewives, this time of year they're going to have a top 10 countdown. But last year it was about as much fun as you could have. Here's the problem. If you take 1,000 videos and say just on average that they were 30 seconds apiece, it adds up to more than 8 hours worth of stuff to watch just to get to the point where you could narrow it down to, I ended up with like 35 that I thought were amazing.
Yeah, I got it down to like 22, and then I had it down to like 15, knowing that we would have some doubles, so I kept 5 on the burner. And we'll see, man. We'll see.
So we're down to our top 10s, but Mike, when I think about our videos, and it was a lot of fun to go back and take a look at all of them. I basically, and maybe you have more, but I identified that there was maybe like 6 or 7 different types of videos that we do. I thought that we did lessons like on tips, like our Tuesday tips, or our how to hit this shot, or hey, whatever. It was instructional, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 was we had our prefab skits. The ones where we talked about it and then went somewhere and filmed it and then edited it, and it had a vision before it happened, and then we brought that vision to life, right? We had the template ones, which are fine. It's the ones that you see with the music and the flashing and the spinning and all that stuff, and those are great too, right?
Yeah.
We had our challenges, whether they were for like Mr. Beast style money giveaways, or just you and me, on par 3s or sand traps or the driving range.
Yeah.
We had unique shots, times where you or I are on the golf course, like, hey, before you hit that shot, let me grab my camera. Yeah. And then things that we kind of reshared. We saw something that we liked and we shared it, or we saw something and we recreated it in just the tip style. So, and podcast chops. So, taking, 5 to 1 minute, 5 seconds to a minute worth of a podcast and just putting that up. So those were kind of the categories that we saw over 2025, 2024. I'll get it right.
Yeah.
I'm already in 2025, dude. I'm thinking about next year already. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think you kind of nailed that right there. It was like the variety that we have. We don't continue to do the same thing over and over again throughout like the month, but we do have a certain type of theme of things that we like to do and want to do and kind of give to people because they seem to do pretty well.
Yeah. Yep. And we're getting better. One of the nice things too is watching the progression of some of the things that we did, even from last year to this year, but we'll get into it as we talk. But some of it was really cool to say, hey, we did that in the beginning of the year. Look what it evolved to by the end of the year. And I think that's special too.
I mean, dude, I'll be honest, even you sent me one this morning. And I'm like, dude, this dude made a real video finally. It was good.
Yeah, but consistency with fonts, consistency with with backgrounds. Even I should have, one of my honorable mentions should be our thumbnails. And the way those have evolved throughout the years, it was amazing to see those too. What we're up to,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, like I said,
right,
before anything else, let's get into it because I'm kind of excited. All right.
Yeah.
So you want to flip a coin? You want to see who goes first?
I won the last match, so you go first.
All right. Coming in at number 10 on Adam's top 10 countdown is Jimmy Wawa on 18 at Twofskill, the remix edit. And the reason why I love this one so much was, Wawa and RL, they courted us over the winter and said, we want to play you guys, want to play a match, want to play you. They brought such cool energy. They were such great hosts at Twofskill. But that day, that match was incredible. It was the Eclipse We played our asses off. They played better, but the whole match came down to a substantial putt, like a 25-footer on 18 that Wawa nails. And then I took that video and put it in a template where these guys, you can feel the energy and the music and everything going on. I love that video, and shout out to Jimmy Wawa and RL.
So that's what I love about talking about these videos, because people see the 14 seconds of the video, but the what's behind that video is that match was so awesome. Like, how many chip-ins and long putts and flags being hit and darts thrown on that day. Like, I wish we had just cameras running the entire day, because there was so much action on that day, and that and for it to come down to a final putt was pretty awesome.
If you remember, without strokes, so straight up, they beat us. It came down to the last hole for the match play, but they shot 61 gross
Team
best
gross.
ball.
Yeah,
it was 9 birdies on that par 70, and you and I shot 67. So like I said, there was some playing going on. RL shot under par, and Wawa had his best day ever. I shot even that day, and you played really well. So like I said, it was a day, and to me, it was just immortalized in that video. But then put the music and the flashing things. It's just the best.
Yeah, it was a good video. Good video. All right, my number 10. We're gonna start at the bottom, right? We're going Hak Tua. I had to put her down at the number 10 just because it wasn't completely my video. I did take the Hak Tua girl and add it in at the end of you hitting. I think you were hitting like an iron out of the middle of 2, and I was like, is there any better sound than this? And it just cuts to the Hak Tua girl. And we ended up getting over 2 million views on it. So it's kind of nice. And Hak Tua girl, we appreciate it. Thank you for everything you've done for our channel.
But for real, so we sit there, and sometimes videos take days or even months to put together. Like there was one that where you were filming stuff in the winter and filming stuff in the summertime. This one, we were at the gym in the morning. It was very popular. I think you had a gut feeling about it. In 10 seconds, you put that video together. You showed it to the guys at the gym. They got a chuckle out of it. You posted it, and it instantly became our most watched video of all time.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's mainly because we caught the trend, which I did try to catch another trend that it didn't make the countdown.
No.
you
got to put yourself out there. You got to put yourself out there, But dude, just really smart on your part, being tuned into the zeitgeist of the internet, and being able to leverage that. I wish we did it more often.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
I'm
down to number 9, another edit. But what was fun was our Florida trip back in February got posted probably in end of March and April. But I feel like it was 10 years ago that we visited that content. So being able to go back and just remembering what a great time that is. But there's one particular video out of all that. It's probably 200 hours of video being shot. It was one of the middle of the weekdays, beautiful sunny day. We're on the International, and I just set up the camera looking back at the Omni Resort Hotel, which in Florida, this course is flat. So this white monolith it erupts out of the landscape, this huge, beautiful hotel. And we're probably a half a mile away from it. But the way the camera set up, and I just put it there, so everybody was hitting with that as the backdrop. And it blended it together so the camera didn't move. So everybody just kind of hit their shot and blended together and found some really good Irish music. I love that so much. I had such a good time with those guys. I think it celebrates them. It's a moment in time that's 20 seconds, but says a lot more than what you see on the video.
Yeah, and when you filmed that, I was in the other group that day. But when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, dude, this is really good."
Yeah.
So another thing, guys, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, is we're going to be posting these out starting today. When this video comes out, we're going to post these as our posts. So number 10s are going to go out today, and then 9s tomorrow, and all the way till the last day of the year. So you'll have a chance to see them too. And why don't you guys tell us in the comments below, or in the comment sections, or both of the post, comment which ones that you like and why you like it.
Love it. All right.
So
you're number 9.
Am I Dreaming? All right. I don't know if you've seen these videos, but this is the summer one, right? So it's kind of a flash of a montage of a bunch of different videos, and I made one of our summer golf trip, Tot Hill Farm, Ocean Course, True Blue, Caledonia. I think that's it. And a little bit of the travel, and I just mixed it all together, and it was Am I Dreaming, and it just kind of flowed through all of them. And I really like that video because, I mean, when we stop and think for a minute, like this is we're kind of where I pictured us to be. Maybe not as far as into the, like I would like to be a little bit further in our channel, but we're headed in the right direction. And when that video, once I hit save on that video and it played, I was like, perfect.
And and that's the one thing about filmmakers. And again, I'm putting you in the category of filmmaker, of storyteller, is being able to take what's in your head, what you think and how you feel, and putting it into a video that other people can see. And I know that's exactly how you feel about that trip. You saw the trip ahead of time. We did the trip, and then you recreated what that vision was on that video, dude. It's so cool. Great job.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Number 8. By the way, I said when I went back through the 8 hours it took to go through these videos, I said all I was looking for were videos that gave me the feels. That I had a visceral, that I was part of it, or I'd seen it before, or maybe I even edited or was the subject of it. But revisiting it made me feel something special, more so than the other videos, right? So this one was, Mike, I can't remember where it was, now I do. It was number 1 at Wiltwick. It was the daddy-daughter match, but we had changed daughters. You took Maddie as your partner. I had Taylor. And you guys were sitting in the cart. You let Maddie drive the cart, which I don't know why she can drive the cart and I can't, but that's okay. But I just took the cart.
You do know why. Because you drive in the left lane doing 58.
We don't want to get a ticket. So I zipped the cart around you guys and kind of did a circle. I took the video and put it to some music. But what gets me on that one every time is that when I zip around, it's like you and your beard and you're kind of smiling. But whatever you two were doing in the cart, Madison's got this giant smile on her face, and it makes me happy. You got teenage daughters; they don't smile very often, at least not around their dads, right? So
well,
seeing this.
Do you want to know what we were doing?
What?
We were winning.
Yeah, because it was the first hole. That was it. But by the way, Larry Fury's wife saw that post and saw Madison and said, I saw the video of you. You have such a beautiful smile. You should smile more, which is what every teenage girl wants to hear. But like I said, thank you for helping me capture that moment.
They said, you have such a pretty smile, Mike. No, they don't say it.
Hey, thank you for letting me capture that moment, though.
That was a good video, man. That was very cool. And I like the spin around and the slow-mo is really cool.
Turned out.
All right, my number 8 was kind of a funny one that, I was like, let me try to make this video that I have in my mind, but we didn't have, there was no intention of when I was filming the footage of what I was going to put it to. So I had this idea, and I'm like, let me go through some content and figure out if I can put this to something. And it was the things to avoid when you're trying to be good at golf. And it was you sitting there chipping just a bunch of range balls, and I filmed it for some reason, like out of the blue. And then I took that content and I did a voiceover of like things to avoid, and it was just like a funny video of like, it started off serious, like don't watch YouTube, don't read Golf Digest. Things to avoid were like responsibilities and love and friends and parties, and it was pretty good. I think the timing of it, the way that it all worked out, is like people were like, "Oh, I need to watch this because I need to know what to avoid." And then they realized it was kind of like a humorous video, so it was pretty good, and it did well too. And I think it's still currently always kind of ticking up a little bit as well. So That was one of
Yeah,
another
no,
one of my
it
favorites.
yeah, it was done really well because it started out with like things to avoid. And it's, like you would think like, oh, like alcohol and sugar, and things like that. And it just it dissolves into, friendships and quality relationships and things like that. It was good, dude. Really funny. Yeah. By the way, somebody got a crappy comment on there too. Chipping with range balls? Like, come on, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
And here's the deal, and I'm going to say this in our Christmas podcast because I'm not the merriest person in the world. So, dude, the people that say dumb comments on stuff, you're dumb. You're dumb. And it's always
You're on the naughty list.
Yeah, you're getting cold because it's always somebody who has like 4 followers, no profile picture, and their profile is private. It's like, all right,
That's it.
Cool, Ben.
That's it.
Nice, Ben.
Nice. Yep. It's my mom, man, she's just ragging on us. It's brutal, So
she's logging in other accounts.
Exactly. So where were we up to? Number 7.
You're on 7. Yep.
So 7 for me was it's a good video. I don't think our best, but again, it kind of captured a moment where we started doing the Tuesday tips, and this was the first time where you're like, hey, I'm going to shoot different angles. I want you to do the same thing like a bunch of times. And it was kind of cool going back and seeing some of the early ones and didn't quite have language down. But this one, Crispy Chips, was, I would say when the Tuesday tips really kind of found its own voice, when it really started to take off, because we were jerking around on the green and like I'm doing karate kicks.
Was that on 16?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I was like cursing and joking around and stuff. And you're like, because we were doing so many takes, you could just do whatever you wanted. So I'm like, I'll lay down next to the pin and I'll do this and that. But once you put it together, and I saw the way the energy came out of that, and it's amazing to be at a party or something now, and people go, oh, I saw your Tuesday tips, and like 3 or 4 people are like, step 1, go to the refrigerator. Step 2, get me a beer. Everybody says that. It found its voice, and Crispy Chips is the one that did it. So, like I said.
I think that one, like, because like that probably was like the one of the first. That was probably like maybe the 5th one or something like that, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And then and I looked back at like the first 4. We didn't have like a cookie cutter thing. Like it was changing every time. And then we were like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start it like this, and step 1 and step 2. So I think Crispy Chips was the start of like what it's turned into now. So it was good.
It
and
is.
You take direction
nice.
well.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, my number 7 is one off of the golf etiquette series that we started doing. All right, Golf Etiquette 1, 2, and 3 were great. All right, they did pretty good. But number 4 was probably my favorite, and that's the one where you are finding a random ball in the rough, and you pick it up, and I come out of the side and I spear tackle you. So that one's my favorite, just because it's probably something I actually really want to do to somebody who picks up somebody else's ball. And I wish I could. Usually it's like some 72-year-old man that's just picking up balls, and I would break his spine. But
well, quit hitting it in his fairway. You and onto his green.
Listen,
and into his sand trap.
If it's in somebody else's fairway, you can't get mad at them that they actually like pick it up. But you can tell them that, hey, that's mine. Put it down. You can't get mad because it's their hole. But if they're on your hole and they pick up your ball, you're gonna get tackled.
Just a quick side story. My favorite time this happened, I was playing with Mike Brabham, was playing with the commissioner, and we were on 18, and we were partners, and I hooked my drive over into like the rough between 10 and 18, and we get up there and there's no ball, and we look, and there was another group that was playing, and they were all the way up. They'd hit their second shots. They were all the way up by the green, and Mike goes, I bet that guy took it. He goes, I just know it. And he took the cart and he drove all the way up there. A couple of minutes later, he comes back with one of the guys in the cart with him, right? And he goes, where was it? Where was that ball? And the guy has the ball in his hand, and he makes the guy put it back where he found it, right? And then makes the guy He makes the guy walk now like the 300 yards from where he was back up to the green to where his cart and his stuff was.
Oh, that's so good. Good. That's like the new version of the walk of shame too.
It is. Yep.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Mike Brabham.
He's putting the ball down in the grass like all shaking.
Yep.
Awesome.
So
all right,
I'm up to number 6. So number 6, again, one of the great things about Just the Tips is working with our partners and collaborating, and again, getting some swag every now and again. So Todd from Ball Hawker reached out to us and he said, "Hey, if you guys can produce some videos, I'll send some balls. You send videos, I'll send balls." And the first package we got, I was like embarrassed, like the UPS guy drops it off, and it's a sizable. Let's say it this way. It was about a kilo of golf balls, all right, in a white package. And it's like from Florida. And I go, oh, you got to be kidding me. So I videoed an opening, and I thought I'd get cute with it and pretend it was maybe some contraband, right? Well, I send it to you, and sometimes you take a video and you make them better. So it's probably a week later, and this video posts, and I see it for the first time. And you add some Scarface commentary over top of this thing, dude. All I got is my word and my balls, and I'm opening up golf balls. It's hysterical, dude. It cracked me up so hard.
Good. I'm glad you like that because, like you said, up until probably that point, we've been a pretty clean channel. And I was like, whatever. I mean, it's golf. We're adults. Like, let's have fun with this, and people will, hopefully find it funny. And
yeah,
who cares? We found it funny, right?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
All right. So my next one, I get a little, like you were talking about when you're zipping through these videos, like you got to get the feels, and I think this one was that for me, and it was our Shingle Creek flyover. So same time, we were in Florida in February, and we were going through the footage in March, and this was the first time that we had the drone up and running at another course other than our home course, and decided to make a video, put the whole thing together of like a flyover of the course, flyover of part of our group playing. We got the clubhouse, we got some Orlando in the background, and I ended up putting this thing together, and I was really, really happy with the way it turned out. I'm still really happy with the way it turned out for our first video, and I was pretty impressed with myself. It took a lot of work to work in the drone, work in the editing, work in the chops, work in the golf in there and everything like that. And like you said, you kind of go back and look at kind of how we've evolved. I think this video is pretty damn good, even still right now, if I put something like that out. So pretty happy with that. Shingle Creek flyover.
I think it was the first time too where we saw like all the pieces of media start to come together. I was like, why do we need all these cameras? Like, we have 2 phones, isn't that enough? And next thing you know, we got GoPros and drones and DJIs and the whole bit. But to see how you put all of that together, how a GoPro commentary along with a DJI wide shot, and then with a close up and a mic'd up phone with a drone flyover. It's a lot of work on your part, dude. There's no doubt about it. But taking those elements to tell a story, I think is awesome. And Shingle Creek's one worth telling, man. That place is awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it again next year, man.
What are we, 59?
So that's what I'll do is I'll compare the 2 for next year of what I can come out with this year and that one. So
when you get the Mavic 3 drone.
Oh, I know. You're on number 5.
So it's funny, we're back to Florida, and again, there was a lot of shots throughout the year when it was like, hey, you're behind this tree, or we're left-handed, or you're in a ditch and stuff like that, and the shots turn out great, right?
I think I know.
But this one though, in retrospect, was irresponsible to talk you into hitting that. We're playing with we're the first day in Florida. We haven't swung outdoors in 3 months. We're on the back 9, and you hooked it, not a lot, but hooked it, and you were probably...
I think it was number 9. I think that's number 9.
you hooked it behind this fire hydrant. The fire hydrant's 3 feet tall, metal, just like you would normally see. And you're like, hey, do I get relief from this? I'm like, relief? I'm like, no. I'm like, you're not going to hit it with the club, but it's directly in line where you need your ball to go. And in the video, you can hear me going, nah, dude, you got this. Dude, and you swung. If that was 9 inches to the left, I think you'd have been missing teeth. Yeah. As it was, though, not only did you miss the fire hydrant, you hit it on the green with a hybrid from like 200. On the first day of playing golf, it was an amazing shot, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, and our playing partner, Tony Carter, was like up in the fairway, like at the 100-yard mark. He's like, "Great shot, man! Great shot!"
That may have been irresponsible.
I want to hit that shot. If you weren't such a bully, I would not have hit that shot.
Listen, man, bullies make the world go round. There you go.
No, we did it for the people. That's actually what you said. You were like, dude, do it for the viewers. I'm like, fine.
Yeah. That's because during the Thanksgiving trip earlier in the year, you had me in the water, hitting out of the mud with the girls. Do it for the viewers.
I think you did that 2 years in a row. If you want,
I think I may have.
Same course, actually.
Yeah, true too. Yep.
All right, my number 5 is, this one was a fun one to do. Something when I was like going to the course that day, like that morning, I was like, you know what, I want to film something funny like this. And I was like, I just don't, like, if I have time, I'll do it. And it was, this video ends when I lose this ball. So it was just on 3T, and I say that to the camera, and then I tee it up, and right as I hit the ball, the video ends. So, and that is definitely something that has happened many times in my golf career. So I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. So it was a good video.
100%, but really funny, because most of these videos are like, I'm going to play until I don't have this ball anymore, and the video is 6 hours long. Yours was 18 seconds.
Yeah,
it's hysterical. It really is.
Seconds. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, brother, your turn.
So, number 4, this is when we first started, like, workshopping out, like, hey, dude, I got this really good idea. And then I'm like, can you even do that? Can you make the video do that? Is that a thing? And you're like, yeah, I think I can. So we're at the course. I was hitting balls. You're videotaping yourself, and then you're like, come here. You're like, you're gonna play this part. And I'm like, okay. And I started, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, I need to part my hair. So I found some water. I parted my hair, and I yanked my pants up, and I looked like this dork. And then you made this video, and again, I only get to see it when it's done. I get this text. It's this angel on one shoulder, devil on the other, talking about whether or not to lay up or hit a 3-wood. And it's me looking like a dork going, don't forget about dispersion. And then it's you acting like the devil on your own shoulder, like, trip it and rip it. Dude, it's hysterical. It cracks me up. The production value on it was so high. And I think it was one of the first times where I'm like, there's a lot we can do with the technology that we currently have. We have a lot of opportunity here.
Yeah, I think, like, there was a part in the year where I was like, you know what, if I want to, start getting better, I need to start challenging myself with these edits and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun. I mean, it was tough. I don't think it came out as great as I wanted it to, but again, I'm picky when it comes to, like, staring at this footage, for hours, and then that's what I come out with. But to hear you say stuff like, hey, I like to see it when I don't see it until it's over, and then I get it, and I'm like, wow, so that's always cool to kind of see your reaction when it comes to stuff like that. So
yeah, dude, it's cool. Great. Nice job.
All right, dude. So kind of similar. All right, my number 4 is the ball marker haunting. Right, so we made that video. It took a couple days of shooting of different settings and everything like that. Took a couple more days to start editing and everything like that. But it was when your playing partner borrows your ball marker and you expect it back and you don't get it back, and then you go stalk him at his house until he gives it back. So that one was fun to make because I had that vision in my head of exactly how I wanted it to come out, and I was really, really happy that I was able to get that out onto camera. But I didn't know how much work it was going to be. but it was it was worth it. It was really, really cool. We probably should have put that out on Halloween. I'm looking back now. We did that about a month early, but it's all good. I'm still happy with how it turned out because people can relate to that.
So there was a couple. I mean, first, the concept of it was excellent. There's nothing worse than somebody walking away with a halfway decent ball marker of yours. But second, the idea of like stalking the person. If you notice in the video, and I know you noticed because you did it, but to our viewers, if you notice in the video, there is some like creepy music, and you must have had to like go and find like horror movie sounds and things like creaks and things. But the other thing that I thought was
I made it all from scratch.
Yeah, you have a Foley studio in the basement. There you go.
Yeah.
But the thing that was impressive to me was that was the first time that I recognized like you like everybody, you like movies and you hear how they're made. But that was, hey, here's my shot list. We need to make these shots. And then you went through the shots and we did them. And then you're like, that's not quite right. Let's go back and reshoot this section. But just as an example, I'd shot it at the house and you're like, that's not quite right. So we'll shoot the interior in the bathroom of the Maximum Results Fitness studio. So again, it was at the course, it was at your house, it was at my house, and it was at the gym where all these pieces came together to make it this one seamless video. The magic of movie making that we're doing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, brother. You're number 3.
My number 3, I don't think I get a bigger. I laughed my ass off the day we made it. I laugh my ass off every time I see it. It might be the thing that brings me the most joy. Mike and I do challenges all the time. It seems like every round with, hey, closest to the pin, most drives, we're betting here and there. We just got off a 2-week vacation where it'd been nothing but golf and eating and drinking. And I was stretching it out to the very last day. I think this was Sunday afternoon. We're playing. We're 54 holes in. I'm 10 beers in on the back on the last 9, and we got a chip and challenge. We got a chip and challenge going on, and the rough is rough, and I hit a pretty good one. And then Mike goes to chip, and he's like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna end this right now. This vacation's got to end. And he chips and just skulls it to death. And I cracked up so hard. But Haley Rocker, our production assistant, who's produced a couple of pieces of content for us this year, made it so funny. The comedic timing she put into it, the black, the white, the replay, the ha ha ha, the drunk laugh times 10. Dude, it kills me. It kills me every time I see it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I was, when I see, and again, so now I'm starting to see things that are like getting made, and I don't see it until the end product. So to see that, it was really good, and I was laughing my butt off too. So, all right, that was your number 3, right?
Yeah.
My
number 3
was one that we did up at I think we were at Shaker Ridge, and we were playing with 2 other guys that met us up there. We knew they were coming. We know them. And I was like, guys, we only knew one of them, and then he brought his friend. And I was like, I really want to do this video. I had this idea because it's something that every golfer goes through. And he was like, they were like, yeah, all right, cool. Just like, let us know what we need to do. I'm like, you really don't need to do anything except this and this. They're like, all right, cool. And we filmed it, and I had everything together. And then I got home, and I put the whole thing together like that night. I sat down. I was like, I'm doing this now because I'm excited. I think I got all the shots I need, exactly how I need them. Boom. Posted it the next morning, tagged everybody in it, and everybody wrote right back to me right away, dying laughing. And it was the Forgot the Names post about meeting guys on the first tee. You're like, hey, I'm Mike. Hey, I'm Adam. Hey, I'm Tim, and I'm John. And then you're like, what was his name again? So then we went through the whole round and called them bro and guy and buddy and dude. I think you threw a chief in there. It was, and then at the end, it cuts to them going, man, that was so much fun. But do you remember those guys' names? And they're like, no. It was so funny. And so many people can relate to it. And there's tons of comments on the posts and so many likes and follows or comments under there. It was hilarious.
So another one where you had this really sharp concept, filmed it, right? And we filmed this whole thing. But then the edit on it, I thought was spectacular because you have the main concept and then the little hook. And then it goes halfway through, like some of the names, but then it comes back to the hook again, and then some of the names again, and then these guys with like the surprise ending. I thought it was amazing edit, because it would have been fair enough just to post a couple of the names, and it could have been real easy. There was a lot of creativity and a lot of thought in telling the joke over the course of a minute. But we don't do a lot with Facebook. Facebook is kind of an afterthought. We concentrate on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. But that video lives on so hard on Facebook. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Almost weekly, if not daily, there's a comment, a share, and a like on a video that was shot and produced 6 months ago.
Yeah, I would say even on
Yeah.
Instagram, it's like that as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep. Like I said, just very impressive. I mean, thousands and thousands of likes and shares. I think it's great, dude. Nice job.
All right,
All right.
you're number 2.
Number 2, we got a chance to play Mansion Ridge late in the year. Beautiful day, unbelievable course. It was getting dark early, and my playing partner was rushing me, not Mike, another playing partner. And normally I take what this guy says as gospel, and he shoots me the wrong yardage by about 25 yards on a downhill par 3.
Oh, don't
and
play.
he admits it. If I called him right now,
Dude,
I pured a shot
playing against
180.
you, and I'm like, the card says this. There's no way this tee's 20 yards further back than what it was. So I shot it, and I was like, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, thanks. So I hit my 185 yard club into a 165 yard green downhill, and I clear the water, the hazard, the trap,
path.
the green, the cart path, and I hit it into this giant. It's a swamp behind the green, and we get down there, and I found the ball, but it's sitting down in this terrible spot. Making it harder, there's like a 3.5 foot tall rock wall
over heather in marsh.
And it wet. There's frogs in there, and I thought I saw an alligator, right? And then I'm sitting there, I'm thinking about hitting the shot, and you're like, there's no way you're hitting that shot. Maybe my partner's like, hey, listen, I'm good for par. Don't worry about it. I'm like, I got this. You're like, you want me to move the cart? I'm like, no, I'm gonna hit it like over the cart. I'm like, I'm not even worried about it. First off, to pull off
you had a rock wall, like a 4.5, 5 foot rock wall in front of you that was 4.5 feet in front of you.
So I hit a flop shot out of the mud and heather swamp over the 4 foot wall, over the cart path, missed the cart, landed it on the green, and rolled it to about 6 feet. So first off, I didn't get killed. I could have caught that one right in the teeth. Yeah. Second, I hit it on the green. Third, I got a chance to see that video. That's not something you get every day. I hit that shot and I could see it get out, and that's all I saw. There's mud and grass all over the place. Your angle to be able to see that come up and land and roll out perfect and like within a foot of the cup, I was like, that's amazing. And I thank you for documenting it. And now I get to have that shot for forever. It was just a great shot.
I mean, we were playing against you. I think we were, we had a good match going that day, and I'm like, freaking great shot. I'm like rooting for you now. I'm like, make that putt. I didn't say make that putt. I said good bogey.
You did say good bogey. So one of the comments was, does this guy ever shut up? He's talking. Yeah, but listen, long story short is that, one of the purposes of the channel, in addition to becoming, rich and famous and traveling the world, is to document things that are cool. If we don't have the channel, I don't have that shot for the rest of my life. I don't get to see that. So it's awesome.
No, I think like one of the reasons that I was like, yo, we should make a channel out of this, because we're playing golf anyway. Why not film it? Why not document it? Because worst case scenario, then we have all this cool footage of not even just like mental memories. Now we have like visual memories. So it's pretty cool.
Yep.
So speaking
8.5 hours of them this year.
Speaking of that, my number 2 was the medium form versions that I did of Tot Hill Farm, and it's both of them, right? So I did 2. I did one that was shot by shot of me playing the course. Was it me or was it you?
It was you.
It was me. Of playing the course, every hole, shot by shot, just showing the course and a little bit of flyover and stuff like that. And then I did another medium form of us getting ready to go play there, and then all the flyovers and the landscape footage that we collected when we were there. That's the range, that's the first tee and the clubhouse and flyover stuff, and actually just driving up and seeing that nice farm fence with the hole on the other side and everything like that. So putting those two together was really, really fun. I think that was the first time when I was like super, and no offense to any of the courses that we played, that was the first time I was putting together a video of a course that I fell in love with instantly. As soon as I walked on the grounds at Tot Hill Farm, or actually even before we even pulled up, like when we were driving by, like I was like, look at this place. And my eye and my camera actually captured the same thing that I was looking at. That's one of the few times when I'm able to do that, is like to actually get the footage that I wanted to, and was able to let the camera do it some sort of justice. Because when I was putting that together and just kind of like reliving Tot Hill Farm, it was just freaking amazing. It was just absolutely amazing. Like, the rocks and the undulations and the greens and the tee boxes and the tunnel. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, putting together like some of these other courses, and obviously we're going to do more in the future, especially like currently. But that one was special to me, because Tot Hill Farm is special to me.
Yeah. So, that one, when I saw, especially the one with the driving up and stuff like that, we talk about feels, like, to me, that recaptured what I felt that day. And we were, again, it's like day number one of vacation. The excitement couldn't be higher. It's a course that we desperately wanted to play and heard so many great things about. The day couldn't have been more perfect. But you're right. To me, your video turned out like the quality, like something you'd see on like HGTV. Like we're here we are in beautiful Asheboro, North Carolina, in the rural area, the tree-lined streets and the fences and the rock walls. Like, you captured all of that. It could have been the beginning for a Hallmark Christmas movie if the weather wasn't so nice.
I don't know if I'm going to take that as a compliment or an insult.
It's definitely a compliment. But dude, that was a really good piece of filmmaking that, like you said, and you've said it many times over the years, hey, I have a really hard time seeing something and then I film it or take a picture of it and then I look at it and I go, well, that's not what it is. This wasn't one shot. This was an entire day that was recreated into 4 or 5 minutes. That's super watchable, and dude, it's just again another great edit. Yeah,
I did 2 of them. So I did. I was a little unsure, and then when I actually started diving in, I didn't want to put it all in one big long form. I wanted to break it up into 2, just because it was just more fun. Honestly, it was more fun to do 2 medium form pieces of content. So
yeah, there you go. Very watchable.
Dude, drum roll.
So, number one. And again, this was easy, the narrowing, 1,000 pieces of content down to 30 or 40, and then narrowing it down to 10 was very difficult. But number 1, super easy. We come up the Tot Hill that morning, and it was a spectacular day. Like always, we're the first ones there. It's you, me, and my daughter. And, it's a gracious welcome. It's just a pristine morning. And at Tot Hill Farms, the driving range sits up on top of this hill by the clubhouse, and it looks down into this valley that they kind of cleared some trees. And there's no markers down there. There's hay bales you hit to. There's these bags of balls and these Titleist bags, or ping bags, Titleist bags.
Dude,
ping bags.
If they sold those, they'd make $1 billion.
But Mike grabs my camera. I was shooting some different stuff, and he grabs the camera and just sets it up on the range. And he hit video, but I don't know if you realized, he slid it over to cinematic. And if you guys know anything about the iPhone and the cinematic, and I don't think you did it on purpose. If you did, it's genius. But what it does is it captures a target clear and then makes everything else like this kind of blurry, very pretty but it focuses on the people. Well, we got this morning where the sun's coming up perfect. We're the first people on the range, so every footprint is a fresh footprint, like newly fallen snow, but in the dew. And like I said, you got this cinematic, it's quiet, and it's just us hitting balls on the range. And I remember us just like not even talking. It was just like a perfect morning. And I'm like,
dude,
if I could recreate that morning every day of my life, it'd be a perfect life. But I have this 30-second video that's like perfection, dude. And I appreciate you doing it. Yeah.
Hallmark, you know what I mean? Like, so like you just said, like there was this peaceful moment of like none of us talking. It was just, dude, I mean, it was just like, let's just soak this all in. And there just happened to be a camera rolling.
Yeah. In cinematic, by the way. Like I said,
you don't
that's,
think I did that on purpose?
No, I don't think you know what cinematic is. This is iPhone technology, Mr. Samsung. Normally I do it and then normally I slide it to cinematic and then the person's blurry and the background's clear. It doesn't make any sense.
Or the camera's facing the other way. I can't wait to show you this one. I'm gonna send you this one on 18 of True Blue, and I hope you punch yourself. So mine number one is the whole series of Caledonia. I put out a day-by-day, hole-by-hole Caledonia series that we ended up putting together in one long form. But it was really fun putting this thing together because, again, I pushed my editing skills a little bit with doing the hole over on the side, the overhead shot of the hole with a ball tracker on there. And did shot-by-shot filming you of every shot of you. I think you shot a 74 or 75 that day, right?
Yeah. Yep, I think it was a 75. I think we edited it down to a 74 for time's sake. But I think I gave you one less shot on the par 3. I think so, which I appreciate. Like I said, that was you eliminated a skanky shot. Which was helpful, but it's for editing purposes. So, I had a great.
I think I just didn't have that video in there.
So again, we talk about learning stuff, and one of the things that we learned is that when we want to capture the entire course, especially for people that want to see it. Like earlier in the year, we'd shot the Twofskill with RL and Jimmy Wawa, and then somebody we'd met who hadn't played that course before used that to discover the course. And we go, wow, that's kind of what we want to do. The trick is, though, if somebody's using that, they don't want to see Adam and Mike every shot. Mike's over here, Adam's over here. Mike's up there, Adam's over here. They don't want to see that. So for time's sake, for editing's sake, for everything's sake, we just choose one of us to do every shot. Now, I filmed you for Tobacco Road. You filmed me for Caledonia. The difference was at Caledonia, it's a lot of work to put together 18 holes. We estimate it to be about 40 hours. But to take the 20 minutes or 30 minutes per hole and then publish that as its own unique piece, and the doing the voiceover on it, and then putting it all together as a long format, we discovered a way to do our business better. And it's one of our favorite courses that we got to do it on.
I think it was a style that we were like, hey, let's try it this way. And it ended up working out really well. It was something that, obviously we planned out the filming of just doing one ahead of time. But, I was like, let's do a hole by hole. And that way I can like really focus on doing like some good work on this. I wanted to try a couple different things, and we had the hole on each side and everything like that. And then I wanted you to do the voiceover to kind of like commentate it, and it came out real well. And then we have all the videos that we slam into one big long form with some more intro, outro, and a little bit more stuff about the course. So I really like that. I think it was something cool that I think Caledonia liked as well.
That was the other thing, yeah.
And whenever we partner with these courses, and they're they've all been so great to us that I want to deliver, right? I want to make sure that we go above and beyond on what we're giving back to these courses and these resorts and everything like that. So it's always fun to tag them or collaborate with them on Instagram or whatever it is, and they're like, oh my god, I love this, and they comment and stuff like that. So it's awesome.
Yeah. So. No, that was a good one. That was a lot of work, but what a great day, and really captured us having fun doing things we did well between. So it's funny when you look at the list in its entirety. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot of skits, but when it comes right down to it, the top one or two is just us enjoying playing golf and fortunate enough to capture as much of it as we can. So awesome sauce, dude.
Yeah. Like you just said, man, it really comes down to capturing golf moments, like true golf moments, whether it's the three of us on the range or Tot Hill Farm or whatever it is. The channel has become something that we're both in love with, and that's what I love.
Yeah, I identify as a content creator. Who knew?
Yeah, don't worry. I'll send you this video, and then you'll be like, ooh, maybe I got new goals for 2025, and it's called hitting the record button or aiming the camera lens at the golfer.
We have to get to the point where we have a film crew. I can't be an unbelievable golfer and an unbelievable videographer. I can only do one or the other, apparently. And actually, I wasn't playing that good on this trip.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did you shoot at True Blue?
It's like 100. Jeez.
Yeah, so there's no excuse.
Did you want to hit some honorable mentions? Or do you want to save that for something in the future?
We'll save them. I'm going to add them in as a third post on every day.
All right. Because like I said, dude, when we look back at 1,000 pieces of content and probably 100 long formats, we had a hell of a year. 2024 was awesome to Just the Tips. We were really good to our partners and sponsors. I think we did our very best to capture the people, the places, the courses in their very best light. And it was easy because we're surrounded by really good people and really good courses. So, Dude, it's been a hell of a year.
And listen, we got a bunch more coming out of 2025 that are going to kick off the year. I'm kind of debating now. I got like an 8-minute video that I want to put out. And it's, dude, I was watching it this morning, cracking up in the gym by myself, just laughing, tears coming out of my eyes. I might put it out in 2025 just so it can make this list next year.
That's it. We have to save all the good stuff for 8 days from now.
I might do it because it's going to be a kickoff. It'll be a kickoff for 2025. So I'll wait. It's going to be hard to hold this one. Like I wanted to send it to you, and I'm like, no. I'm just going to let him wake up one time, and it's going to be posted. He's going to have a bunch of comments making fun of him, but it's going to be a good one.
That's okay. It wouldn't be the first time this year. It won't be the last time. That's for sure. Well, dude, a week's full of top 10 countdowns, just as it should be.
10 days.
10 days of count days. And again, so 10 days left in the year, which really means that there is, 50 days left until we're in Orlando?
Till Florida, baby. And then we got a couple more partners that we're partnering up with next year that are already into the schedule, so look forward to that in 2025. We got a bunch more stuff coming with courses that we've played and some awesome stuff coming down. It's gonna be fun.
So as it's been said before, that when you have a positive mental attitude, you can believe truly that there's good things that are happening for you right now that even you don't know about. And I think that's true for Just the Tips. So like I said, man, here's to a great 2024 and even a better 2025.
All right, man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. I'm Adam.
I'm Mike. Just the Tips.
Just the Tips.
Just the Tips.